making a run at it, aren't you? Rolling up a stake and going to Vegas.
The #1 poker internet show is now on the radio. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to talk poker news, entertainment, and have lots of Sin City surprises. The phone lines are open at 731-1230. That's 731-1230. Or toll free. 1-866-820-5528. That's 1-866-820-KLAV. Now, let's bring on the hosts going all in. Here is Mark Hoke.
I love how Tim is sitting over there kind of waving his finger to the music over there. That was pretty cool. Next time you got to do a dance for us, get up and boogie a little bit like Ryan Reese is and all of the rest of his troop, as we do have a new world champion. We will be talking about that today and so much more as we move on here in the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for joining us here. We are on the wonderful 12:30 a.m. here in Las Vegas at the Talk of Las Vegas, KLAV. Happy to have you with us today as, well, I got to be honest with everybody. I'm a little pooped. I'm a little tired between the Hall of Fame ceremony, where everybody was trying to pass me wine and get me drunk, which I really appreciated. I really appreciated it. And, of course, the November 9 finishing up the last 2 days. But it's all over now. We can breathe and have a good time and start moving forward. Hey, the next one's only 7 months away for the World Series. I'm sorry, Nolan. I didn't mean to remind you about that. But, of course, we have some great guests in studio. Of course, the media director of the World Series of Poker, Nolan Dalla, is here. Nolan, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Mark, it's a great pleasure to be on your show, and congratulations on this new show. This is, I think, a blessing for the listeners here in Las Vegas who you really are very thirsty for this kind of information you and Joe are providing. And anyway, thank you for coming here, and welcome.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Boy, everybody's just so darn nice when they come in here. I wish everybody talked to me like that after, outside of the studio. I have a perfect life. Joe Payne. I'm just going with Joe Payne because I don't even feel like going Italian. Joe from Nevada Poker League is here. Joe, how are you?
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
Yep.
And Kalisha West is going to be here very shortly. World Boxing Champion. Running a little bit late, but we'll have Kalisha in here. She is the current IFBA Super Bantamweight champ.
She was out late last night.
Oh, yeah?
I saw her out late at the Hilton, so she wasn't in training, I can tell you that.
Now, they actually drove me home last night. Now, did they go out after that?
What time did you go home last night?
They dropped me off around 10:15 ballpark.
Actually, I saw them before. They were at a party at the Hilton before.
Oh, okay. So they partied up, came over to the number 9.
And they probably partied after they dropped you off.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, Christina Kwan, our good friend at Project All In, she was on the board for the SEMA convention going on. Right. So she's a little tired. She was a little tired last night, so I really appreciate the drop-off. Thanks, guys. Well, we might as well just get to the news right now. Of course, one big thing happening, so let's do the intro.
Scanning the poker tables from around the world, this is The Read, brought to you by PokerNews.com.
And, of course, we want to thank Poker News for sponsoring The Read. And, of course, if you missed the show here or want to hear it again, you can go right on Poker News, which is pretty nice for us. We certainly appreciate that. And, of course, once again, the big news yesterday, Ryan Reese is your new world champion, the East Lansing, Michigan native, now living in Las Vegas, pro 23 years old, pockets $8.3 million last night as he manages to knock off Jay Farber, the Las Vegas host. Another Cinderella story, comes up one spot short, but Ryan Reese was absolutely outstanding last night. Really had control of that table most of the way. And, of course, going through Monday night's play, Reese and Farber just absolutely dominated that table. Jay Farber, of course, hitting the big hand that pretty much cracked it wide open with aces against kings against Mark McLaughlin. And he and Ryan Reese pretty much coasted to the heads-up play last night. It only lasted a few hours, wasn't too bad last night. So we got out of there pretty early.
261 hands.
Yeah. So we survived. It wasn't last year. Of course, the poetic justice for those that may have not followed last year, of course, the three-handed play 13 hours. This time around, we got rid of a player in one hand. Yes. But so a very nice ending to the first night of November 9. But congratulations to all those guys, and especially Ryan and Jay. And, Jay is a fantastic guy, too. And I think he's got a great future in poker. Looking forward to seeing what the future brings for both of those guys as they roll forward.
Interesting note is that Jay and Ryan, between both of them, they eliminated this 7 other players by themselves.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a very interesting table, and of course, I'm sure we'll talk to Nolan here about it in just a second. But really, after McLaughlin got eliminated on that hand, it was just lights out. There was really no hope for anybody to catch up, given where those chip stacks went. And but Jay came in with the lead last night, couldn't quite close the deal, but it was a good fight. But it is Ryan Reese and all the Beast fans out there. They are going crazy. They're probably still tearing this city apart. So watch out. It's gonna. If you hear people yelling "Reese the Beast, Reese the Beast," run.
Nolan, was that the biggest rail crowd that you had seen for a specific player?
Well, Joe, it's funny how the rail has evolved at the World Series of Poker. The very first time that I remember a huge rail was back in 2005 when Joe Hashem came all the way from Australia. And the big chant was Aussie, 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 if you remember that. And
that went through the whole night.
It went through to about 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Before that, there were really no such thing as rails. I mean, there were a few people that would cheer and so forth, but as far as the chanting and the theatrics and so forth and so on, it was certainly Joe Hashem that introduced that. In 2008, there was a fellow named Dennis Phillips who brought everybody in St. Louis, it seemed, with him. They were all wearing white shirts with, I think, Ford patches and St. Louis Cardinals, this and that. And basically, over the years, rails have developed into their own niche and personality, and certainly Ryan's contingent last night was very interesting.
It's great for the game. It's great for the game. I think what ESPN has done is great for the game, but it's taken poker now and it's kind of brought it into your home, and you feel like it's the local guy is like in these 2 players were basically relatively new players. I mean, from what I understand, Ryan had no cashes up until a year ago. So I mean, it gives everyone hope that, hey, I can do this myself.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And speaking of the fans, I'm curious to get your thought about some of the interaction last night between the Farber contingency and the Reese contingency. It did get a little heated down there. There were a few comments going back and forth. I mean, you were a little closer to the action from where I was, but what was like down there? Was there a little tension between those groups? Yeah,
there often is, actually, but given, there's a number of factors involved. First of all, the hours. It's not like a football game that goes 3 hours. We're talking about 12 or 13 hours last night. Last year's, I think, was 17 hours. The year before it was 19 hours. I mean, you're talking about putting people in an environment where there's a lot of excitement, tension, drinking, and emotion, and that sometimes spills over the top. I think most of that's constructive. Occasionally, you always remember the one that gets out of line and so forth. But this is actually an interesting debate and a controversy about the appropriateness of cheering in poker. And, if you were to watch chess or something, other kind of a mind sport, you would certainly not see this kind of behavior. It'd be more like golf or, something a little more like that. So I think there's actually division within the game as to whether we should be what are those reality shows like American Idol and so forth, where their audience is actually involved in the process.
Right. Dancing with the Stars.
That's almost what it's like. When you have these, but it's if you can imagine playing for the most money you've ever played for, and then having to really tune out all of those distractions, it's not easy.
Yeah. So it was a wild night in there last night, and we will later in the show talk about the big highlight from the audience that took place that unfortunately those that were not in the Rio did not get to see it on TV. But brace yourself, we had an animal attack at the World Series of Poker.
It turned out to be it was the Lions versus the Pandas.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It was
pandemonium.
It was pandemonium.
It's the first time in almost a century that anyone with a Lion jersey on won something big.
Oh,
I'm sorry to our Detroit listeners for that one, but it was How could you resist?
Says the man who's wearing a Syracuse jersey, by the way, today in our studio.
Okay.
Wow.
Pretty good basketball program.
Wow.
My niece goes to Syracuse, so it was a Christmas gift.
Unbelievable. Well, of course, also this weekend, we did have another happening going on. The Poker Hall of Fame ceremony took place on Sunday, and Scotty Wynn and Tom McAvoy were inducted into the Hall of Fame, and what a special night that was. I got to tell you, every time I either interview or I'm around Scotty Wynn, he makes me cry. He always makes me cry. He, telling the stories about everything that he's gone through, he always speaks from the heart, and it really pulls you in. And Tom McAvoy's daughter certainly had a great speech that night too. It was just an amazing evening.
Yeah, and I was privileged to MC the evening, and that to me that's just such an extraordinary honor because the Poker Hall of Fame. I think Tom McAvoy said it best. He said this. There'll be a lot of players who will win the main event over the years. I mean, you have one every year. But the Poker Hall of Fame, it celebrates a lifetime of achievement, a lifetime. And it's just not easy. I mean, you have to have the respect of the players and the media and public awareness. I mean, it's not easy to develop, again, such a high, list of accomplishments. And certainly Scotty Nguyen and Tom McAvoy did so. And I think most poker players and those who follow the game are very excited for them.
Yeah, it was a great evening. Two wonderful and well-deserving players recognized in here. We have two people coming on at the same time. I got my Grindettes. Katie Stone is on the line. We're going to talk to her in just a second.
Katie
Stone,
all right.
Yeah, but I do want to introduce because the champ is here.
The champ is here.
Yeah,
indeed.
Alicia West joining us here, and now Vinny. I don't know how Vinny got lost. He's been here before, but that's okay. Everybody's been having a long
Let's
week.
blame it on Siri. It was Siri's fault.
It was Siri's fault?
Yeah, Siri took us in a circle.
Oh, that little witch. Oh, little devil in there. Well, we're happy to have you join us here, and we're going to get to talk to you about later on what it's like to be a world champion, what Ryan Reese is going to be facing here. So it should be pretty exciting. But let's get Katie Stone on here. I'm sure she's got some things she wants to say about what happened last night. And of course, Katie with the Grindettes. Make sure you go to grindettes.com, follow on Twitter at Grindettes, and of course on Facebook, the Grindettes. Katie.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Fantastic. So your reaction to Ryan Reese's victory last night?
I think that he was, when they were six-handed, I think he was one of the two favorites I had picked to win it, kind of like in my head. Yeah, I mean, really happy for him. I don't know him, but he seems to have just, like any major poker tournament he plays, he just wins it, apparently. So, yeah, really happy for him, and he seems like a nice kid, and hopefully he'll be good for poker.
Well, it's interesting now that another young guy wins a world championship. I mean, this kid's 23 years old and just now gets $8.5 million plopped into his lap, and now a lifetime of being a world champion. I mean, and you're around a lot of the online players that have won big money and have had their lives changed. What is this going to be like for Ryan now? How do you think that he's going to be able to handle it at such a young age?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was just thinking about that because he's not at the start of his career, but in the grand scheme of things, he's definitely at the start of his career. And I was just thinking how nice it would be just to shortly into your career, just to win the biggest tournament out there. I mean, not only is he pretty much set for life, but he now has the ability to pretty much play any game he wants anywhere in the world whenever he wants to do it, and just being able to do that is just so valuable in and of itself. I like it, and you know this, that I like it when other poker players win big tournaments because I think the money has a lot greater chance of staying within the poker community because they buy action, they play tournaments, they stake people. So I like it. It's maybe a little counterintuitive. People want, just normal everyday guys to win big poker tournaments because it's good for poker overall. But I like it when poker players win tournaments.
And real quick, in terms of the play for the last two nights, was there anything that you or some of your friends saw that really surprised you?
It was actually interesting. Last night, me and Katie Dozier and Jen Shahade and Jamie Kerstetter, we have a chat, a Grindette chat on Facebook, and the past couple nights for many hours. We've been chatting about the hands and going back and forth about what we thought they were doing and what we thought they should be doing. Obviously, everybody's got an opinion, but I think I was really surprised with the Queen Jack hand that Ryan Reese played, where he called 3 streets on a king high board. I thought that was a really interesting hand, and that's probably going to be a hand that's going to be talked about quite a bit in poker and also just like on the forums and stuff like that. But I thought it was a really interesting final table with the types of players that were there. You know, just having such big name and big minds in the sport, like J.C. Tran and Raptor and Amir SF. A lot of people, you know, don't realize that he's just an online beast as well. So it was just a really interesting final table, and I think a great guy won the tournament.
You betcha. So, hey, well, Katie, thank you for calling in. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys, once again, follow those Grindettes on Twitter, Facebook, and go to the website, grindettes.com, and check out the 4 most wonderful ladies in poker.
Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome. Talk to you again soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, there we go. Katie Stone, everybody from the Grindettes, getting a call in. And, yeah, that hand, we're going to talk about that hand tonight. That was a very intriguing hand. I'm sure Ryan doesn't care that he lost it now because he's got all the money. But, hey, what are you going to do? We sort of have a poker plays you can use tip today. We got to make sure we plug Doug Hull's book because he's paying me to do it. So the poker plays you can use strategy tip of the day.
It's time for the Poker Plays You Can Use strategy segment with author Doug Hull.
Doug says watch the November 9. It was fun. We were all very busy over the last couple of days, so Doug didn't get to record a tip, and, of course, was watching the November 9. But the tip, of course, other tip is buy the book. Make sure you go to 3barrelbluff.com, 25% off Doug's book, Poker Plays You Can Use, with the code KLAV. Nolan, you got to pick that one up, unless you don't have it already. Do you have it?
Well, I've got a shelf full of poker books already, and you can see I'm having to work for a living. So.
Hey, Mark, you mentioned something that I want to kind of ask Nolan about. You mentioned about how Ryan is 23 years old. Nolan, the last 6 WSOP main event winners have been 25 years or younger. Do you see this as something that we should expect to? Is it the writing on the wall that because of the hours and the stamina that's needed to go through 7,000 plus players, are we going to only see young guys at the final table? Is guys like me and Tom McAvoy, and I don't mean to put myself in the same category as Tom, but I'm talking age-wise. Have we missed our time as far as winning a main event?
Well, that's a very sobering thought and possibly a reality as well. I don't think I ever would have thought of that because I remember poker when I first came into the game, and I was younger. I was in my 20s, and it was just the reverse of that. You had to acquire years and sometimes decades of experience, take some losses, and understand what it's like. Now it's just the reverse of that, and I think there are a number of factors at work here. The internet probably is absolutely the most revolutionary accelerant of talent in poker that we've ever seen. I don't think anything will change in that regard. And then I think that older people, and this is just, we can probably fill in a punchline here or two, but I think that we become somewhat conservative and we don't tend to think out the box. You become set in your ways, and the game does change and evolve, and it's very difficult for people to adapt to new things. By the way, that's true in and outside of the game. And I think that if there's a lesson here in life for those of us who are, myself, past the age of 50, it's to always keep a fresh, open mind about new things that come your way. And as long as you do, you will always be able to engage that and perhaps improve as well. That's the lesson of life through that question.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see if someone in the and I'm 44, so
you're almost with us.
I'm almost with you.
Yeah.
Today I feel like I'm about 90. All right, we have to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Kalisha Joe and Nolan Dalla right after the break. Thanks for joining us.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water, and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
Join us on Saturday, November 30th for an outstanding day of poker excitement. It's Lane Flack's On Tilt Poker Throwdown 2013 at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas to benefit the Southern Nevada Bully Breed Rescue and the Las Vegas Boxer Rescue. Brought to you by On Tilt Merchandisers and Rockwell Watches. The Poker Throwdown features a unique 5-team format plus individual participation as well. Team up with a poker pro or celebrity and take your shot at winning it all. Red carpet photos, silent auctions, great poker action, and a VIP after party await you at the poker charity event of the year. Visit pokerthrowdown.net for more information and join Lane Flack at the Golden Nugget on Saturday, November 30th for the On Tilt Poker Throwdown.
Want to be a millionaire? Then see if you can become fantasy sports royalty in the 2013 Fantasy Football Millionaire Grand Final at DraftKings.com. Play for free or in paid contests for real money, plus games last one day, so there's no long-term commitment. Thousands of winners have won over 10 million prizes on DraftKings.com, and now it's your turn to cash in. Go to DraftKings.com right now, enter the promo code HOKE, and get a 100% deposit bonus and a free entry into the Millionaire Grand Final qualifier. So don't wait. Crown yourself the king of fantasy sports at DraftKings.com.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes?
The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts.
Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play off tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
Win your share of $50,000 in cash and prizes and get into the game for free with the Nevada Poker League. NPL has 17 locations in the Las Vegas area for you to play poker with your friends and neighbors. New season starts early October. Find a location near you at NevadaPokerLeague.com and get in the action tonight.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
All right, we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KLAV. Thank you for being with us. Alicia West over there, the champ. Joe Payne and Nolan Dalla joining me in studio. And I have to make sure I get my promos in because the last show when I had Mike Matusow in here just totally took the mic, threw me off my game, and my sponsors kind of got a little bit of the shaft last time. So I got to make sure I take care of them. Of course, make sure you go to blindsquirrelapparel.com. You get 20% off. You put in the code HOKE. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel. Arctic Blue Cooling Towels, one of the neatest products out there, and I'm going to get you one of those. They're awesome. Just wet it down. Stays cool for 5 hours, so it's not cool to be hot. Check them out, arcticblu.com. Also, our good friends at Off Tilt Poker Tables. No one knows about those because, of course, they had Off Tilt Poker Table at the World Series. So check them out at offtiltpokertables.com. DraftKings. Go sign up right now. Get your daily fantasy sports. It's a great deal. Just put in the code HOKE. I make money. So if you wouldn't mind, drop $5 on there and make me happy. Go to DraftKings.com. Also, of course, we talked about Doug Hull. The Final Nine comic, next issue is going to be released very soon. Get your free preview. Go to final9comic.com and follow him on Twitter at Final9Comic. Get your free preview today. 9 become 1 way or the other. And he may be inspired by what happened last night or 2 nights ago, or last night at the World Series with, we'll get to it in a second. 3Bet Clothing, go to 3bet.com for some of the best clothing apparel out there as well. Of course, Antonio Esfandiari, all the guys at 3Bet, so say hi to them. And we'll mention a couple others, because I want to make sure we give out some good phone numbers and everything while we have time. Kalisha, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I got to mention, Kalisha was up at Project All In up at Quan International, where we did the broadcast the other night, and your championship belt is heavy.
Which one?
Oh, pardon me.
I mean, I just
Pardon me. I'm sorry. But tell everybody a little bit about where your career is right now.
All right. Well, as far as my career in professional boxing, I've had 20 professional fights with 1 loss, and I've captured 2 world titles, making myself the 2-division world champion, 4-time defender. I've been fighting for 15 years, and I've exceeded so many accomplishments, farther than I even ever expected when I first turned professional back in 2006. And I couldn't be even more, satisfied with what I've done and what I've accomplished in the boxing industry. Ranked number 1 in the world. I've traveled all around the world, Europe, Peru, Mexico, and of course in the States I've had some of my defenses in California. So as far as the boxing goes, you ask me anything about it, I will be able to tell you that and more than what you've heard before. That's my thing. I mean, I can't say more than I've just grown up into it. My father is my coach and manager in boxing, and he also trains a whole stable of teammates, so it's not just me. Like, he's not just hounding me. I had to, on my own, grasp that career and show that I wanted to do it. It wasn't something that I was pushed or forced to do. It was something that I wanted to do. I'm a very competitive person overall. Whatever I do, I'm very competitive.
Well, one thing that I find very interesting about you, and this is why I was really happy we bumped into each other and got you on the show today, because you do a lot of advocacy for women's boxing. So you're using your position as a world champion to try and do more than just pick up money and a paycheck after you fight. And now we have a young world champion, a guy that's 23 years old, who is now going to be thrust into the spotlight for the rest of his life. I mean, everybody's going to be watching him. We've seen some great ambassadors come out of the main event. We've seen some not so good. And now Ryan is in a position where, he has to make a decision of what kind of person and champion he's going to be. What advice would you give to somebody at that age now in his position?
Well, that was one thing that I wanted to elaborate on, because I'm pretty much in the same vicinity as far as age as Ryan. And I was young when I captured my world title, and what he did last night was like capturing a world title. I'm pretty sure I was 22. And being at that level of competition, my only advice would be to maintain. And not only maintain, step it up. Because when you're at the top, there's so many people who want to dethrone you. There's so many people who are after you, and you become everyone's number one target. So when you've gone there, don't celebrate too much because it only just began. And then it's a long-lasting, I mean, the days and years are going to feel like they're just taking so long. But then when you look back at all of it, it's just like it was like a blink in the eye. So you have to capture those moments. And right now, I want to say he's still young. People think, oh, he's young. He has so much time. But to be honest, he is at that peak right now because from this point, he can only move forward. I mean, if not, then it's downhill from here. So it's kind of like you've shown it all, you've given it your all so young, and you have so much more time to go to withhold that level of expectancy. People are going to expect better and better and better and return champion. So my only advice is to maintain and do better as the next tournament comes next year. And I wanted to also talk about how me as a professional boxer, we talked about it in the beginning, but you said I'm a women's advocacy. I work really hard in standing up for equal rights for female boxers. Let me explain the reason behind that. I may be a four-time defending world champion, 2 division. I've accomplished so much as a professional female boxer. But in the United States, I can sit here today and I promise you didn't even know that. Why? Why is that?
Exactly.
I've been fighting for 15 going on 16 years and no one really knows because women in the United States have not been embraced. Women's boxing has not been embraced. So even though I've accomplished so much, which I'm very thankful because not many people can go out and walk the streets and say, yeah, I'm a 4-time world champion. Nice to meet you. It's something that it's priceless. What I've done is priceless. And that's why I want to take that platform and capitalize on what I've done and branch off into other things. Another reason why I'm sitting here today. Another reason why I'm so interested in what Nolan and Doug had to say. I am studying both of you guys. Everything you say. Last night's tournament with Ryan and Jay, I was studying exactly what was going on. Poker, I love poker. Vinny will tell you I am a big time poker fan.
I've seen her do it too.
Well, you've seen a little bit. I mean,
I know, just a touch.
Yeah, but in high school, like I've said before to you, in high school I was always in the schoolyard playing poker with everyone versus their lunch money and taking away lunch monies and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
That's so not nice.
Actually, I don't want to say that. It was chips.
Okay, yeah.
Chips
Steal their food. That's
hot
even
dogs
better. Yeah.
And food and gushers and.
So you're out there starving children in high school is what you're doing. Really? Come on.
But it was really fun. And me and Christina, when I started watching what she was doing, I was like, oh no, she is not really going into the poker industry this deep. And that was when I let her know, hey, there's room for world champion in the pros. Let's do this. And that's what I'm doing from here on out. In 2014, I plan on capitalizing in the poker industry with Quan International, the best global marketing network out there, and looking forward to utilizing my platform because imagine me even cashing next year, 4-time division world champion. Who can claim that? Who can really claim that?
Other than Christina.
Yes, but don't get me wrong. She's a world amateur boxing champion. Yeah.
But you're the
I turned professional.
You're the big time.
I turned professional and did that same thing. It's the same thing, but a different league. Yep. And 4 times 2 divisions, 118 and 122. I mean, I don't want to say I'm cocky, but I am pretty confident in myself.
I wouldn't mess
mentally.
With you. I wouldn't do it.
I've gone through a lot.
Stupid.
You said I wouldn't mess with you.
That would be very dumb. Well, no, let me ask you about Ryan Reese's
Just a minute. I gotta follow that.
Yes, you do. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Hey,
why don't you
you're so welcome.
Get Manasau in here. He's easy to follow. I got to follow the champion. Follow this profound philosophy. That's
with Ryan now in that position, and you are, of course, known as one of the great historians of this game in the World Series as well. How do you think Ryan's going to be able to handle this? I mean, this isn't like when Phil Hellmuth won so long ago and poker wasn't as big. Now he's in the national spotlight. You Google World Series, it's up there, boom, and Ryan Reese's name is everywhere. How does he handle this, and what will the World Series do to assist him?
Well, how will he handle this? That remains to be seen. Unfortunately, the truth is the World Series of Poker has a rather sad history when it comes to how champions have fared, and that goes all the way back to the early days of Johnny Moss. Certainly, Stu Unger would be a name that people would recognize in this town as somebody who did not handle his fame and celebrity and talent to the extent that a lot of people would have liked. A lot of former champions end up broke. I mean, millions of dollars won. I'd prefer not to point fingers or say names, but I think we did a study on this some time ago, and a third to a half, depending on how you define broke, lost all their money. And of course, those who won years and years ago, most of them went through the money. And the other thing that I think is difficult on a champion, and certainly you would understand this above anyone, is that your life is all of a sudden under a microscope, and anything you do, particularly within your industry, is really scrutinized. Whatever you say, whatever you do, how you act. Whereas before you didn't quite have that spotlight. And I think there's a lot of pressure, and frankly, for somebody 22, 23 years old, it's tough for somebody with my experience to not get out of line or make a mistake. You can imagine with somebody with less experience that pressure. So it's not all that it cracks up to be, although people listen to me and say, he just won $8.3 million. I wish I had that problem. But there is a certain price you pay that goes along with fame and fortune.
That goes right along with who Ryan decides to surround himself with. I genuinely hope that his inner circle are people who care about him as a person and not his status. Because he's young, of course, he's going to make mistakes. And when he makes those mistakes, who's around him, mentoring him, what to do to fix it, what to do to make himself better, how he can put himself in a better light, how he can make up for those mistakes made. So as far as that goes, my advice would be for Ryan is to keep the right people around you at this point. And you're absolutely right. You're under a microscope. He's the winner. He's everywhere on Google. When you bring up poker, you're bringing up Ryan Reese, and that can either do good or it can do bad. And it all depends on how Ryan carries himself from this point out. Everything he says in every interview, every time he's on camera, and now with social media, whatever he tweets, whatever he posts on Facebook is going to be judged and looked at. Yep. He can be your best friend, but as soon as he says something where homosexuality takes offense, next thing you know, he's the homophobe. And so, definitely whoever's around him, I advise even mentorship for someone with that clout at such a young age.
What's interesting about Ryan is that, and I don't know the man at all, but based upon his actions, he's not someone who just jumps at opportunities. He literally turned down no sponsor. He had no sponsorship at all at the November 9, the final table, and I'm sure he was offered some sort of sponsorship to wear things on, but he chose not to do that, and I think that alone speaks for his clear thinking that, I'm not going to just jump at 20,000, 30 or 40,000 to wear a logo while I'm at the table. I'm going to play for myself, and I'm going to kind of see where I am at the end of that. And that's unusual because a lot of the players on the final table had logos on, except for Ryan.
He said something extraordinary. This was going back, I think, Mark, you were standing there with me. We were interviewing, like you do after any sporting event or poker. He was being asked a number of questions. And, of course, the big question that comes up is, what are you going to do with the money?
Right.
And I was really astounded by what he said. He said, I don't know. I haven't given it any thought. And by the way, I don't think anybody, again, people are listening to this here in Las Vegas. Everybody dreams of the lottery and what would he like to win the World Championship, $8 million, whatever. I mean, most of us would have the money already spent, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
And if you add up the whatever, all the things that are out there, the money will go fast. But in his case, I really believed him. He had not thought one. He said I'd already driven a nice car. I'm not even going to buy a new car.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
And you got to believe him based upon the fact that he probably turned down a bunch of offers for free money, basically, just to put a sticker on his shirt. Now, here's a question I have for you.
Hey, we have to go to commercial break.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we still have our Arctic Blue game of the day and coming up, and we've also got to talk about the attack of the panda.
Oh,
very important.
The stumbling attack.
Yes. So let's take a break. I'll tell you what, we're having a great time here. Nolan, Joe, Kalisha joining us. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
bettors. Tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com and call now for today's free winner at 1-855-489-3500. That's 1-855-489-3500. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
Last summer, I was at the World Series of Poker every day and couldn't walk 2 steps without seeing someone wearing 3Bet clothing. It's super comfortable and stylish, and all their stuff looks amazing. The incredible team of pros who wear 3Bet hats, hoodies, tees, and more are a who's who in poker. All-time greats like Jonathan Little, Doc Sands, Brian Rask, Jason Kuhn, Scott Clements, Greg Mueller, Ben Tollering, Jeff Gross, and of course, Antonio Esfandiari, all proudly wearing the 3Bet brand. They wear 3Bet clothing because they know that being comfortable and feeling confident is crucial to winning on and off the tables. 3Bet.com has shipped thousands of orders worldwide, and it's time for you to join the 3Bet team just like the pros. Go to the number 3bet.com and receive an added bonus of 15% off with the promo code RADIO. Make that right call. Look and feel like a pro at 3bet.com.
Poker is more fun when you win. Most poker books are too theoretical. They tell you to be more aggressive but give few practical examples. Poker Plays You Can Use by Doug Hull, edited by Ed Miller, has 49 concepts with multiple, clear examples from real, live 1-2 through 5-10 games. Each hand is visually represented, explaining which players are vulnerable to these moves. Use discount code KLAV at 3barrelbluff.com to get 25% off your copy. Paper and ebook available.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
At Team Poker Joker, we build innovative, high-performance, poker-focused apparel designed to keep you cool and calm in tough situations. Wait, no we don't. We've just got a cool brand representing the suits of this beautiful game called poker. Our gear won't make you better, but it will keep a smile on your face. So don't be so serious and show you know how to have fun. Get your Poker Joker gear today at TeamPokerJoker.com. Grin and win today at TeamPokerJoker.com.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch coming soon. 9 will become 1, one way or another. Final9comic.com. And for more details, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook at Final 9 Comic.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Yeah, that's me. Hi. What's up, everybody? Yeah, we're having a good time in here.
Great show, by the way, today, Mark.
Yeah.
Really good show.
Thank you. See, all I do is I just sit back and wind you all up and I just let it go. And then I take all the credit. No, that's not right. That's not right. Hey, a couple of sponsors I want to make sure we mention real fast. Make sure you go to teampokerjoker.com, some unique poker apparel, and you can be part of Team Poker Joker. Those crazy kids out there. Make sure you go to teampokerjoker.com. And, hey, if you need help with your sports bets, it's mid-season. I know some people are hurting with their picks, especially with the NFL and college. Go to doubledigitcovers.com right now. It is time to stop guessing, start winning. Check in with my good friends Tony Dos and the handicapping team at doubledigitcovers.com. KLAV.com. All right. It's time for the Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day.
It's time for the Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day.
In honor of our world champions all over the place, we're going to play 1, 2, 3. This is another game, and Nolan is sitting here in his ascot and shades just like, oh my God, what the hell have I gotten into?
I have no idea what you're getting ready to do.
That's right.
I have no
That's
idea.
right. You don't.
No, neither do
None of you do.
Okay.
None of you do. So this is really simple. Okay, we're gonna go around the table. Okay, I'm gonna give a year for the World Series.
Oh, goodness.
You will name the player that won, Kalisha. I'm making this easy. You will name the player that won. Joe, you have to name the runner-up.
Oh, my God.
Nolan, you have to name who finished third.
Oh, come on. Wait a minute.
Come on, history kid. So let's start off. I'm going to first chance for points here. Let's do 2000. We'll do 2013. Who won last night, Kalisha?
The young guy that was standing there at the very end. The short young guy. Yes.
His name, please, officially. Who won last night?
I don't remember his last name. Do you want the first name?
She's
I'll
cheating.
take first name.
She's cheating. No fair.
You mean last night?
Yeah.
Oh,
won the world
why
title
am I
last
thinking
night.
why am I thinking of last year?
No, last night.
It's because I'm nervous. Why'd
It's okay.
you choose me first?
Because I'm trying to make this
Of
easy.
course, this is Ryan Reese.
Thank
I said
you.
his name
There
10
we go.
times.
Dang. Joe, runner up.
Jay Farber.
Third, Nolan.
Did you have your iPhone on when you said that?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not
All right,
at all.
Farber, you got. All right, well, I'm lucky. I know Amir Lehavolt very well, and he finished third.
All right, there we go. All right, let's go back to 2003. Now, this was a very big year, a very pivotal year in poker history. All right, Kalisha, who won the main event and all the money in 2003?
Wow.
All the money.
All the money.
You mean the man that I got to watch the documentary on?
I don't know.
Moneymaker?
That is correct.
Wow.
Chris Moneymaker. Joe, the runner-up.
Sammy Farha.
That is correct. Third place.
The 1985 world champion, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dan Harrington.
Correct. There we go,
Wow,
Nolan.
look at that.
There we
We
go.
got some
Good.
poker gurus
See,
here
you
today.
guys have this going on. You're not in such bad shape. All right, let's go to 1998. All right, 1998. Kalisha, I'll give you a hint. One of these, he was inducted in the Hall of Fame this weekend. So that narrowed it down to 2 for you real quick. There's 2 names. There was a Tom and a Scott. Yeah, baby.
I think I remember. It was Scott.
Scotty
And,
Wynn.
what does Scotty do? He won. Scotty wins.
Scotty Wynn is correct. The memorable runner-up in this, of course, one of the iconic moments in poker history, Joe.
You call, you lose, baby. Tom, but I don't remember his last name. But Scotty said to him, "You call, you lose, baby." But I cannot think of his last name.
It is not Tom.
It's not. I thought it was Tom.
Come on, baby.
Nolan, you want to pick him up? You want to pick him up on a second?
Well, should we torture him a little bit? I don't know if he'll get this. It's not that easy. Kevin McBride.
Kevin McBride is the
I thought it
answer
was
to that
Tom.
question.
Who hasn't been seen much since,
No.
I think, from Florida. And actually, I'm stumped on the third place one. I don't remember. I was there, but
It's
I
a
can't
big
remember.
name.
Oh, really?
It's a big name.
In 98.
He never won, but he came really close a couple times.
TJ.
TJ Cloutier.
TJ
is
Cloutier,
correct.
yes, indeed. That's right. Yeah.
TJ Cloutier came in third in that World Series. Let's see. There was another good one that I wanted to hit. How about this one? We got 1983. Okay, 1983. Now, Kalisha, this guy also got inducted in the Poker Hall of Fame this weekend, and it wasn't Scotty.
But I wasn't even born until 1988. This isn't even fair.
That's a you problem.
Can you give me a hint?
Tom.
Oh.
Oh.
So is it Tom Matador?
Yeah, the bullfighter from Spain. Yes.
I'm just kidding. Tom McAvoy?
McAvoy is correct. Very good.
Yeah, I knew that.
This is a good one for you, Joe. I wish you all the best on
No,
this.
Can I pass my turn to Nolan?
Do you want? Okay, take
Pass.
the second. You're gonna have to name the third place.
No, I don't
finisher.
even. I don't know.
Who was runner-up to Tom McAvoy in 1983?
Rod Pete.
Rod Pete is correct.
Very good.
Pete.
Very
And
good
by the way,
one.
the third place one, I need a hint on that one too, I think. Do you know that one, Joe?
No.
We need hint.
He won it a couple times.
He won it a couple of times. It's got to be Johnny Chan.
Nope.
A couple of times would be.
Really, a couple of times. Maybe a couple.
A couple.
Right. I didn't know Doyle came in second.
Doyle
third.
Brunson was third in that World
Wow,
Series.
didn't know that.
Wow.
Doyle Brunson. Yeah, there's a lot of big names finished third in the World Series. Yeah, pretty interesting. I think there was one more I wanted to do, but we're getting a little tight on time. So
Good.
Oh well, you know what?
tough
Just
test.
for that, just for that, since you did that, now I'm really gonna nail you. Because you shouldn't have. I was gonna let you guys off the hook, and then you'd say, "Oh, we're done." No, no,
dear.
Let's talk about boxing world champions.
Yeah,
That
let's
would be
do that.
fun, wouldn't it?
Ooh, that would be
See, I was-
really
I bet you get
fun.
them
I was
all,
trying to work something in, but I
Let's
just
do
couldn't come
that.
up with it. Okay, this is last one is 2007. 2007. All right, he was one of the nicest world champions you're ever going to meet.
This is for boxing.
No, this is for the World Series.
I thought we were talking
He
about
was a
boxing.
psychologist. Does a lot of charity work. Any idea? If you don't know, it's okay. I'm sure Joe could probably pick this one up. Do you know?
A psychologist.
Yeah. Got it? No? No,
Carlos?
No.
I
Joe.
I'm drawing a blank.
2007?
Drawing a blank.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Save him here.
Yang.
Oh,
Jerry Yang.
Yeah,
Jerry Yang.
from L.A. Yeah.
Who came in second?
Who's disappeared off the face of the earth, literally.
No, he's been around. You just got to follow him. He's made a couple Heartland final tables lately.
Okay.
Who was runner up?
Nam Lee, is that correct?
No.
It's embarrassing.
Tuan Lam.
Tuan Lam.
Nam Lee, Tuan Lam, Hing Hong.
And then
I'm sorry, that was brutal. That was bad.
Can
That
you
was
get
You
really
want some
bad.
hot and sour soup with that, Nolan?
That was really, really bad.
Nolan-
Joe, you shouldn't have said that on the air.
Hot and sour soup is my favorite soup.
Nolan, who finished third?
I'm not saying anything
Kravchenko
else.
was fourth.
Alex Kravchenko from
Was
Russia.
fourth.
Oh yes,
He
of
was
course
fourth.
it was Romney from South Africa.
Raymond
right?
Romney.
Raymond
yes.
Romney.
Yep, that is
Wow,
correct.
he knew his location as well.
That is correct.
You don't forget South Africa
Hey, Mark,
poker champion.
Mark, do I,
Yeah.
do I
Yeah.
have time to ask Nolan a question about the money at the final table?
Yeah, real quick. But we
Okay.
got to talk about the Panda. I've been promising to talk about the Panda.
real quick.
Panda.
I know that the World Series does not allow the players to chop money at the final table. But since you have access to kind of the back scene thing, and I know players always say it's not about the money, it's about the bracelet. Do players make a private deal? Like last night, for argument, there's close to almost $14 million. Do players ever say, let's take the $7 million each and play for the bracelet?
Here's your real short answer. The answer is no.
Okay.
However, Amir Lehovot raised some controversy by essentially hedging. He provided a kind of a fund for some of his backers and said, that's, you want to invest in me, and there was a certain,
Right.
I'm not into finance, but
Right.
and in the past, by the way, going back say 20, 30 years ago, it used to happen all the time.
Right.
I mean, championships were, I don't want to say decided in the bathroom, but there have been deals before. By the way, Chris Moneymaker and Sammy Farr almost made a deal, except Sammy Farr allegedly pissed off or insulted Moneymaker, and
Yeah.
Moneymaker said, all right, fine, let's go out there and play, and I'll destroy you. That's
Right.
exactly what he did.
All right, we got 1 minute left, so we have to talk about what happened with the Panda last night. A prop bet took place, and of course, Jay Farber nicknamed the Panda, and one of his people was dressed in a panda suit and fell into the stage, Nolan, last night. Tell everybody about your reaction to the Panda attack that took place. Real quick.
Shock, disbelief. A Panda runs out of the audience, the VIP section. I guess there was some kind of a bet where he would go out there and somebody pay him a lot of money. He eats the floor.
Yes, boom.
Ate the floor. Bam! In front of a national television audience, couple of thousand people. The tournament stops. The players are just absolutely stunned. What a riveting poker moment.
Oh, it was amazing.
And who
Hey,
said pandas don't eat bamboo shoots?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, thank you for joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show. Make sure you check us out on iTunes and, of course, on Podbean. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. And, of course, Internet Show on Sunday. We'll have some great guests for you. So join us then. Thank you to all of my guests, Kalisha, Joe, Nolan. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time on the Mark Hoke Show.